Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a spotlight video on my Dendrobium microchip. Once again, that's a Dendrobium microchip. As you can see, it's in full bloom. It still has a handful of buds that haven't bloomed yet. It's a relatively long-lasting bloomer. I would say it lasts anywhere from 3 months to more, which is good. It's fragrant. For some reason, the fragrance hasn't been coming in too strong yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. Usually it's fragrant pretty soon after the buds bloom. But yeah, there's a slight fragrance, but it still hasn't come in to its full potential. This is one of my favorite orchids, simply because it's fairly easy for me to bloom and grow. It has bloomed every year since I've gotten it, and it's only, the longer I have it, it seems the more comfortable it gets with putting out more and more blooms. I've done everything to this orchid. I've neglected it for months on end. I can count the number of times I have fertilized it on one hand. I've underwatered it so much that the canes have totally shriveled up, but it always seems to reward me with new growth and blooms. Someone on Orchaholics Anonymous asked me what I do. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you, because like I said, I've neglected this one so much. And usually when I see buds is when I start paying more attention to it, and I'll start watering it more. It grows for me throughout the year. It blooms one time a year for me. Usually it starts developing its buds in winter. And as you can see, we're almost into April, and the buds started opening, I would say maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. It loves water. I don't think you can overwater it. I have it mounted. I have even seen this particular orchid lose most of its roots, and yet it's still such a reliable bloomer. This year is by far the most profuse bloom that I've had on this one. I would love to take it. The closest orchid society to me is the San Bernardino Orchid Society. And I really, really want to take this in and show it off. I've never been to an Orchid Society meeting, but this just seems like it would be worth taking it. Look at all of those blooms, you guys. I just love it so much. And you can see the top of the blooms are very spotted. You can see from the upper angle, but then from the lower angle, it's a lot less. You can see the buds are relatively less exciting from this angle, but you can still see the spikes on the lip and coming through the back. I think this is a really good beginner's orchid. I started growing orchids maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I was able to keep this one alive with very little knowledge of orchids. If I did have to give some advice for this one, I would say water it. If it's mounted, water it as much as possible. It loves, loves, loves water. And I watered this every day throughout the winter as well. Or not every day. I went on vacation a few days and it just got misted, but it at least got misted every day. Even now, I'll water the mount, but then I'll also sprinkle water all over the flowers, over the leaves, and it doesn't seem to bother it. even actually in years past have fully submerged this while watering it, because I used to water all my orchids in a bucket and I would just throw it in there with flowers and all, and it really didn't seem to mind. It's a very hardy orchid. You can see the size of it. I don't know if this is considered specimen size, but for me it is, because it's rare that you find orchids this big for sale. I would say I have over 35 canes. I counted over 25 spikes. There's new growth coming in. So you can see this one here, this little one here. And yes, there is water in the crown, but in my environment, that will dry up really fast. And knock on wood, I haven't had any problems with crown rot. But for those of you who live in a more humid environment or a cooler environment, you know, I even, you know, will, if I'm worried about it, I'll just turn it upside down and shake it a little bit. You know, I'm not very worried about this one. It's so hardy. But yes, I mainly wanted to do a little showing off today because I'm so proud of this one. So proud. I wish there was an orchid show I could enter it in. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.